Good day. I'm Letitia with Soul Spread Wisdom, and I'm here to talk about this very dynamic full moon in the sign of Aquarius that is happening August 3rd at about 10 ish in the morning, and that's Central Time, and I'm talking Central Time because I am in Texas. And this moon is doing its own thing, if you will. That's the energies that are being brought in by this moon, and it is quite significant. The last report that I did on the Cancer for new moon, we talked about how it was the third illumination, this third connection between the sun and moon in that Cancer season. So the first thing about this moon is that as it relates to the Leo season, it is starting out with an ending. So what am I saying? First, you normally get a new moon in a particular season, and it's followed by the full moon, and then you go into the next season, meaning like Leo season. Then we'll go into Virgo season, and it'll start with a new moon, and then there will be a full moon, and then we'll go into Libra season, new moon, full moon, so forth like that. Well, because Cancer had three, it had two new moons. Now we are in the Leo season, and we are starting out the first combination of powerful lunations between the sun and moon with the ending, because the full moon brings endings. That's the first thing that is strange about this new moon, or this moon situation that we are having. It's a full moon, not a new moon. So at the new moon, the sun stands across the sky from the moon. They are opposites. So Leo is opposite on the axis for Aquarius. And the second thing that is happening is that when we look at the numerology of what is happening and the degrees of the sun and the moon, we see that there is a portal being opened for spirit, God, source, to bring us some information in that will cause us to be more independent. Why am I saying that? The degree of the sun and the moon are 11 degrees. The number 11 is made up of two number ones. Number one in numerology is about leadership and independence and making decisions for yourself. And that is what is happening. And there is a portal in between the 11 as it stands. I drew it out earlier. Let me draw it now, because I like to have visuals. The number 11 here. In the number 11, again, the two ones and the portal for the information is standing in between, where spirit is bringing in, ushering in more light. And it's coming through Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. And it is in a challenging position to the sun and the moon. It is in what astrologers call a square. And a square is a frustrating energy that comes, that pushes you to say, something got to change. The way it has been, the way it is, can no longer be. That's what happens with the square. When you have the square in the natal chart, it causes you to rise up to your place of herohood. And this is the same situation that we have here. And so Uranus is this planet of sudden change. He is the rebel. He's not going along with anything that society has already put in place. Any area where Uranus is in the chart, and you say, well, normal behavior, Uranus is like, I make up my own normal. I do my own thing. I do what feels right to me. And if you try to impose what you feel on me, I'm going to do opposite. If you say to me, you know what, it would be better for you to go right, then where Uranus is in that chart, or that person that has a lot of Uranus or a lot of Aquarius planets, they're going to the left, because they have to have this independence. This, on this axis, the Leo Aquarius axis, it is an axis of independence, and wherever that is in your chart, there is a need for independence in your thoughts, in your actions, in your deeds. Wherever that is in your chart, whatever houses they occupy, there is a need for independence in this area of your life. So Uranus is sitting at 10 degrees. In numerology, the 10 reduces down to the number 1. So here it is, 111. Okay? This is about independence. It is about leadership. So when Uranus comes, Uranus is lightning. Uranus is the lightning bolt that lights up the black sky. And you know, when you see that lightning bolt come through that sky, it illuminates and it catches your attention. And that is what is happening during this full moon. First of all, it's starting out of cycle, out of order, because we're not having the new moon first in Leo. We're having the full moon first. Then we have the portal being opened with the number 11. After that, we have the number 10 being put in place to add that third number 1, which is fortifying, which is solidifying this message of independence. Independence. It is bringing in light to the situation, wherever it is in your chart, to say to you, you have the truth. Now what are you going to do? There's no way you can play dumb anymore. There's no way you can say, well, I didn't know, that this was going on. No, Uranus is bringing the absolute light. The moon is filled with the light, the reflective light of the sun. The full moon will be bright in the sky, standing big and bright, and then Uranus is bringing the light into the situation. There's no way that you could say, well, I didn't know, I couldn't see it. No, you will have all of the information that you need to bring yourself to a place of strength and a place of honor for yourself. So, it's really not, when people say, the full moon is a really emotional time. It can be, depending on the sign, because the moon itself, rules Cancer, and it can be very emotional. But in the sign of Aquarius, if you meet people who have moon in the sign of Aquarius, are super detached. They're like, they don't show their emotions. There is that Saturnian energy that is a part of it. There is that air detachment that is a part of it, the separateness that's a part of it. So that's here with this moon. It is like a no-nonsense energy. Shocking though the information may be that comes through, that brings the light to you, but within yourself there is a knowing, there is an ability for you to stand on your own 2 feet, your own 2 legs, and make the decision that is right to move your life forward. We have also, on that day, we have Mercury in the sign of Cancer, standing at 27 degrees directly across the sky from Saturn. So in this opposition, so the sun and the moon will be opposite each other, and Mercury and Saturn will be opposite each other. So with the information that you are getting in, this illumination, this thing that's coming to the light, this truth, Uranus is about the absolute truth. We're going to tell the truth about the whole situation. We're not going to leave it hidden, because we need you to know the truth of it. And Uranus is coming in, and the emotion that may come in may be with Mercury in the sign of Cancer, standing across from Saturn, where you are trying to figure out how it is you need to say what you need to say, how you need to communicate to those who have thought that you should continue to behave the way that they feel more comfortable with you behaving, for those who feel that it would be best for you to um, uh, don't rattle the cage, don't shake things up. We need you to conform so that we can feel comfortable, so that what it is that we think and feel and believe will not be challenged. For those who need you to stay in the box, Mercury standing across from Saturn may cause you to have some emotional moments about what you need to say and how you need to say it, and to whom to whom you need to say it. And then you may also find that they may come to you and say to you some challenging things under this light, because we need things to stay like they were, but they cannot. They cannot stay like they were, because change is here. Change is here. And this is most challenging for the fixed signs. Our fixed signs are Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius. It's a challenging energy, because they are most comfortable when things are more traditional. But Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus since May 2018, and full on, in 2019. And here we are. The change is here. He's in the fixed sign. The whole world is feeling it. It's a part of what we see right now. This energy that we see right now. And so it is, for all of our sakes, it is best, it would behoove us to get ourselves in a place where we can embrace change, because it is a part of the norm at this point. Change is a part of the norm at this point, and will be moving forward for some years. So whatever it is, whatever herb we need to get, or therapy, or whatever it is, we need to get ourselves meditation, some music, some dance, something that will help us move through the changes, the energy of change that is here to stay for quite some time. Okay? Beneficial planets that are helping us through this change. We have Mars standing in Aries at 19 degrees. And this is helping the fire signs, and for sure helping Leo. Because Mars, he is in shadow, about to go retrograde on September the 9th. But as of today, he is moving. He's still moving forward. He's in shadow, but he's moving slowly. But he is still moving, which is a good thing. So at 19 degrees, he is going to help the shock value of Uranus through this change. He will be the one that will help make the move, help you make the necessary moves that you need, because he is in his sign of let's take action, let's move, let's go. So as this shock is coming in, he will help you to be able to say, okay, it is what it is. Let's go. Okay? Also, Chiron is at 9 degrees of Aries. And Chiron will be making a trine to the sun at 11 degrees of Leo, and making a sextile to the moon at 11 degrees of Aquarius. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron is going to help in the sign of Aries. This is going to help strengthen you through this change. Chiron is going to help you say, I got this. Chiron is going to help you say, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. I thought it was going to be worse, but I'm okay. Chiron is going to help you say, I have enough strength to do this. I I'm strong enough to keep going, to do the next right thing. I love that song. I'm Frozen too. To do the next right thing. Mars and Aries, Chiron and Aries. To do the next right thing. After everything comes to the light, after you get all the information, to do the next right thing. Okay, so I want to briefly, how long has it been? 15 minutes. So I want to briefly go through the signs and just let you know where you might see this change come through. So for the people, Aries sun, moon, or rising, the sun will be in your 5th house and the moon will be in your 11th house. And Uranus will be in your 2nd house. So with that, there is a change that is coming in that has to do with what it is that you desire to do. 5th house. Your independence. Perhaps you are working on some hobbies, or you are really crafty and creative. You have this ability to make things that people are crazy about. You have a desire to perform on the stage. You have a desire to be seen. And you are wondering about this job that you are on, the people that you hang out with, 11th house, the groups that you are a part of. You're going to the house parties, or you're going over and hanging out with the friends, and you are questioning. Uranus comes in here and shocks and shakes up the sun and the moon, and you begin to say, me hanging out with these people, is it going to help me do the thing that I desire to do? Is it going to help me earn the money that I deserve to earn? Because the 2nd house has to do with self-esteem and self-worth. And so you may look up and say, I am not making enough money. What I am doing right now, I could be earning twice as much if I were my own boss. If I took my gift and my skill of candle making and brought that out to the public, I could sell my candles and make, twice as much money as I have made on this other job. It could happen like that. Or it could happen like, you listen to, you may be a part of a sorority or a group or a part of a church. And again, you just begin to feel like the people that you are joined up with in this group are not helping you go where you need to go. Or you could have a situation where your child comes to you, 5th house, if you have children, and you may have had one path in your mind that you just knew your child was going to go on. That this child is going to go and be a doctor. This child, we're prepping them, we're sending them to all kinds of classes and college prep and so forth so that they can be a doctor. And the child comes and says, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be an actress. Leo, 5th house. And it could just turn your world upside down. But you have Aries in your sign, and you have Chiron there to help and bring the light, and you accept the light, and you're able to move forward and support your child in what it is that they feel that their soul has been called to do. Okay, those are just a couple of things for you, Aries. And then for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, you will have Leo sitting in your 4th house of home, and you will have the moon sitting in the 10th house of your career and your reputation in the world. So for you, Uranus comes through with that lightning bolt, challenging your reputation in the world, how others have seen you, and how it relates to home. It could be that you say, this career that I have had is absolutely not the career for me. I'm depressed on this job. It does not match. Um, it does not match who I am and how I want to be seen in the world. Doing this job causes me to look like someone that I am not. That's the 10th house. I'm not able to express myself in the way that I want to. And the person that I'm being seen at is not who I am, and I don't want to be seen this way. It could bring change as it relates to a boss, that you have. If you want to stay in that career, you may have a boss who suddenly leaves, someone who you just knew was going to be there, and then she leaves. Or you can have someone from your home leave. Someone who lives at your home could suddenly leave, could suddenly just announce, hey, I'm moving out, I'm moving away. And it shocks you. You could have, a child leave the house. You could have something regarding the home, regarding land to happen. You could just suddenly decide that you're going to buy a house. You did not have any plans for it, and you suddenly find out that you got approved for it, and so you're going to go for it. And so these are some things that could be happening for you with the 4th and 10th house being affected. And then we have Gemini. So for our Geminis, you're going to have the sun in your 3rd house in Leo, and then the moon will be in your 9th house, and Uranus will be in your 12th house. So for you Geminis, all about communication, all about, that's your thing, being able to communicate with people. And where the sun and the moon are, these are your houses that have to do with communication. The sun being in the 3rd house, being triggered by Uranus, has to do with the community that you are part of. The cousins and the people around you that that you are familiar with, the places in the neighborhood that you go to and you socialize with people like that. Uranus coming in could bring a huge change. The 9th house is being affected too. And Uranus, being in the 12th house has to do with your spiritual beliefs. Uranus is coming through and bringing these lightning bolt changes to what it is that you always felt spirituality was, to what you always thought that spirituality should be. And then you come to realize that, not necessarily what you've always thought is so, because Uranus is going to come in and bring the absolute truth to you. So Uranus will be moving through your 12th house for the next 5 years. It's already been 5 or 6 years, and once Uranus leaves, your definition of spirituality and your understanding of the spiritual being that you are will be completely overturned. And so Uranus is hitting the moon here, in the 9th house of religious beliefs. So this absolutely could be you understanding religion in a completely different way, and understanding what it means for you in a completely different way. It could also be that, people that friends that adopt a completely different religion, and you are shocked. You are shocked. But it's a part of Uranus waking you up to truth as it relates to spirituality. It could also be ninth house has to do with legal issues. It could be some shock that comes with something legally that is happening for you. But the good thing is that you have Mars and Chiron in your 11th house of group, so you will get some support, Gemini, from Aries and the energy of Aries, of Mars and Chiron that are in your 11th house to help you over the shock of whatever it is, help you move forward. You'll be able to depend on the groups that you are part of. If it's church, if it's sorority, if it's a team, if you play team sports, the shock that comes through, you'll be able to realize that, my group, my team, my people were with me and they helped me come through this shocking time. And the information that you receive, you'll be able to process it much easier. Okay? All right. And then, so we have, we have Gemini, then we have Cancer. And so for our Cancers, we have the Sun is in your second house in the sign of Leo, and then the Moon is in your 8th house. So this is the axis that has to do with money. It has to do with money for you. And then you have Taurus, that is a Uranus is sitting where the groups that you are part of. So it could be that for you, Cancers, that you get some shocking information from a group that you are a part of. You get some shocking information about what the group is doing. Maybe you have been giving some money to the group. Second house, you've been investing. Maybe you had you had a group that, you were investing in dividends, or you were investing in stock together, and you get some shocking information about the group and realize that it will affect your money. It will affect your income. And, but again, you will know what to do, because you will get the information from Spirit coming through that portal. You will get the light, and you will get the information. And, this is something that could have already been happening, because when we have these full moons and the energies, even though they're exact, on the particular day, these things begin to play out way earlier. The energies are already in the atmosphere to push us to the change. So you may have already heard some information, or already gotten some light. Of course, more light will probably come. And then you're able to move yourself forward because of Mars and Aries, as we talked about. Okay. This could also affect your resources. Okay. 8th house is your resources. You could receive some shocking information about someone that you've been intimate with. 8th house rules sex and intimacy. So someone you've been intimate with, you could receive some information, some shocking information about this person from someone who is a part of the group that that you run together. You and this person may run together in a group, and you receive some shocking information about this person that brings a light where you thought maybe you were going to be able to continue to receive resources from this person, or they were going to support you financially and support your income and what you wanted to do and so forth, and you find out, you hear it through the grapevine that it's not so. It could happen in such a way. And then you have also Mercury standing across from Saturn. You have Mercury in your sign standing across from Saturn in your seventh house at this time. So that is, hard information. Mercury and Saturn, you and a partner may be having to have those hard conversations, um, that could move you to tears, that could be painful for you. But again, you will be able to move forward. You will be able to know exactly what to do because you are getting the light and the information from source to push you forward, to take you higher. You know, even when we get challenging news, whatever it is to grow us, to evolve us, to take us to a higher place. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Cancer. And then next we have. Did I do Leo already? I don't think I did Leo. So this is my second time recording this. So I was recording it first on my laptop, and then I had